designed our weekly video segment to take you into the back shelves of your local video store, back where it says horror videos, and where kids are devouring some awful films that we call the video nasties.
Are you freebasing? Inquiring minds want to know.
I have to break free from this culture of mechanical reproductions and the thick incrustations dying on the surface.
Fuck the prime time, bitch!
Monmouth in the flesh.
The pain, I can assure you, will be exquisite. As for our deaths, come with me and be immortal.
We have such sights to show you.
Gotta return some videotapes.
Hello, holiday hounds, and welcome to the SLEIGH podcast. I'm your merry host, Rowan.
I'm an ice pick nutcracker Mike.
Ho, ho, ho. It's Colton.
It's Jolly Jill.
And we are back for our patented Christmas episode. I don't know if it is patented, I guess. We're just like every other podcast that does a Christmas episode.
Time to sue everybody.
Everybody.
We're the only one that could
person.
modify the name of our podcast to be Christmassy every year.
Yeah, that's right.
SLEIGH, so
Exactly. So I feel like we own the rights to it. But yeah, so we're back. The last episode of the year. Also, there's no weird placement of another episode other than probably some now slains that we're definitely behind at because we're awesome like that. But we'll get them out there. I'm sure. You know where we're gonna start, guys. What have you been consuming? What have you been watching? What have you been listening to? What have you been reading? All of that good stuff. Jill, let's start with you this week.
All right, so I watched for the very first time Eyes Wide Shut or Straight Jacket Talk. That's been on my watch list for years, and I just never got around to it. So I was really happy to get like the excuse, I guess, to light a fire under my ass and go watch it. So I watched that.
They did a bad thing. Ding, ding. Such an iconic trailer.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah.
Well, I learned that there was like two like cuts of this, and one of them is like impossible to find, like the actual like explicit international version.
The European cut.
That's the one that we got in theaters here in Canada.
Damn, really?
And I saw it on opening night.
Oh, that's iconic.
Yeah.
Because apparently the version that's on Tubi and everywhere here.
Why would you expect Tubi to have like the director's cut exclusive version?
I'm surprised Tubi has Eyes Wide Shut, to be honest.
It's a banger. Tubi has bangers.
I know they have bangers.
This.
That's like, if there was
Let me
one
go
movie...
consult my Stanley Kubrick Masterpiece Collection Blu-ray and see which cut I have.
Yeah, I think the cut in the US was also the censored version where they just added like computer generated women and just like put them in front of the explicit like sexual acts or something like that.
It's not even explicit. It's like barely Cinemax, like, yeah, it's just so like PG-13.
What do computer generated women look like at that point in time? That was like what, like 1999, 2001?
No, I think it was real women that they used computers to place over it.
Okay, I was gonna say that's even more harrowing than the sex acts.
The absolutely stunning, gobsmacking, life-changing Criterion 4K of Eyes Wide Shut is the uncut version.
Ooh.
So if you like it, you should track that down and buy it because you'll actually get to see the like side titty and stuff and some asses.
Yeah, I would like to see that. And
you know, you're not seeing like dong or anything, but like whatever.
I think there's like upset that they changed that for like the final cut because Kubrick died before it was actually released.
Yeah.
And so yeah, people were all up in arms about that.
He would not have been into it.
No.
No.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And we're 2 for 2 with Tom Cruise movies that I like his acting in. I don't know if I've ever seen really any other Tom Cruise movies, but I like hate him as a person. And I know Rowan is his biggest fan, but I have to say like his acting in Interview with a Vampire, which we just reviewed, and also Eyes Wide Shut. His acting is so good and you just can't help but like being charmed by him.
Just grab a ticket, Jill. There's tons of room on this cruise train, and it's comfy. It's real comfy.
Mr. Maverick himself.
That's right.
Well, what upset me is that this is supposed to be like the secret society kind of thing, and he's a Scientologist. It's like the same reason why I hate Elizabeth Moss in The Handmaid's Tale. Like, you're a Scientologist, get the fuck out. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
It feels hypocritical.
Exactly. I also love Nicole Kidman's performance and character, and I just like the overall dynamic of their failing marriage and Nicole Kidman's character just like sharing that one fantasy that just like rips this man apart and sends him into a spiral, and just like seeing all the things he gets up to on his little journey, and you become so lost with him as an audience, and he doesn't really get anywhere. And I really like the themes of reality versus dreams and fantasies and things like that. And just the whole movie visually was very like dreamscapey, and I really like that as well. And also
the original novel that it's based on is actually called Dream Story. So
yes,
that makes sense. Yeah.
And yeah, the secret society stuff was cool too. Before I even watched it, like people have always been telling me to watch it. And so most of what I heard about it was that, like, you know, secret society, like rich people fucking in masks and stuff. So I expected a lot more of that, but it was more so Tom Cruise's character's journey. But I actually really liked that, so it worked out.
His journey to fucking. That's what it was.
Journey to fucking. Yeah, it really was, actually. As a precursor to Eyes Wide Shut, I watched Baby Girl, also with
yes.
Nicole Kidman.
Nice.
Masterpiece.
That was an accidental double feature, but it really worked. So I highly suggest watching both in either order.
You kind of saw her on the two sides of the coin.
Yeah. Like both about infidelity, and Nicole Kidman, she just ages like a fine wine. I love seeing her young. She's hot then. She's still stunning as an older Nicole Kidman. So yeah, great double feature there. I finally watched Wicked, the first one.
Wow.
I'm like years behind.
Big watch.
Girl, I haven't seen it yet.
It is for me because I'm not into musicals. It's not like really my cup of tea. And I really felt the length of that one. It's long, but it was fine. I'm just not a musical person. And I don't know. It was okay.
Were you levitating out of your chair, defying gravity by the end of it?
No, because I was like getting bored by then, because I was like, when is this going to end?
Damn.
You really said make this 6-hour movie like 120 minutes.
They dragged it on, but I don't know.
What about Peter Dinklage as a talking goat? What do we think about that?
Is that a joke?
No.
Oh my god. I'm not watching this, y'all. This just
Every
sounds
time
ridiculous.
I hear his voice in a movie, I'm like, is that Peter Dinklage? And I don't know. I'm glad he's getting work, I guess. Good for him.
I love the guy's trajectory of his career from Tyrion Lannister, you know, basically on one of the biggest TV shows of all time to a CGI talking goat. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's a weird pipeline, isn't it? So the other night I was watching the like holiday special of The Last Drive-In, and one of the movies they were playing was 1989's Iced. This seems like a Mike flick, but I didn't see you log it on Letterboxd.
I don't know if I know this one. Let me check.
It's a little 80s winter slasher that takes place at a ski resort.
I don't know this, but it stars Deborah DeLiso from one of my favorite movies of all time, Slumber Party Massacre.
Did she die?
In Slumber Party Massacre?
Like in real life?
Of course. It's a slasher.
No, that's Robin Style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it wasn't a great movie, but I had a really good time watching it. I feel like you would enjoy this, Mike. I think you should put it on. It's on Shudder.
Oh, yeah. I see it on Shudder and Tubi. I will be adding it.
Do it up. Yeah. It's a Mike pick, for sure.
Oh, he did Beyond the Door 3, which is also not a good movie, but it's fine.
I'm shocked. So another shitty movie I watched on Shudder. I have a lot to talk about.
You're starting to sound like me. So on my trash movie night, I watched 8 things.
Basically. Well, this was because I took NyQuil because I'm a little sick, and I woke up at like 5 a.m. and this was like auto playing on Shudder, and it's not a great movie. So yeah, director's cut from 2024. It follows a band as they meet up with this random guy in a wheelchair on the internet who promises to make them a music video, and they're gonna like blow up and whatever. So they go to this abandoned mansion in Pennsylvania. Once again, it's always Pennsylvania. And it's really strange. And the villain's henchwoman is a trans porn star. And this was like one of the highlights of the movie for me. Her name is Lucy Hart. And in the movie, she's wearing like the tightest pink pants I've ever seen, and her dick imprint is visible the entire time, and she's wearing like an officer hat.
Interesting.
It's so strange, but I couldn't stop watching it. 2 stars from me. But you need to find like the image of her in that movie. It's unforgettable. Okay, a couple other things. Me and Rowan both watched Silent Night, Deadly Night, the remake in theaters. And we're supposed to record an episode of Now Slaying on that, so
that'll probably be out after this comes out. But yeah, you'll get one.
I heard there's some Nazi killing in it.
Oh, there is.
Damn, that's a spoiler.
Is it?
Yeah, man. That's whole
literally
sequence.
all I know about the movie.
Oh my god.
Well, spoilers. I'm sorry.
That's okay though. No, there is lots of Nazi killing. And it's fucking awesome.
I was about to say spoilers for a 40-year-old movie, and then I realized it's the new one, so it's like a 4-day-old movie.
I will give a tiny spoiler and say, just because I want people to go watch it in theaters, that you should go watch it in theaters. Like if you want to go see a movie this holiday season and you like horror, I would go see that one. I don't like the look Rowan's giving me right now. I don't know if he likes it or not. We'll see.
He's just like me. He's saying if you want to see a movie in theaters this holiday season, it should be Marty Supreme on Christmas Day.
I don't agree with that statement either. On Christmas, you should be seeing Avatar for the 50th time.
Jesus Christ.
Come on. Everyone who wants to see Avatar has tickets tomorrow night, like me. Can't wait.
Let us know. I haven't seen the last one, The Way of the Water or whatever it's called.
You should probably watch that one first, I would think.
I'm kind of over them, honestly. I'm sorry.
Flop.
Yikes. Rapid fire. I rewatched some classic Christmas movies that I always have to watch. Christmas Vacation, Jingle All the Way, which is my favorite of all time, and Christmas with the Cranks. And I know Rowan hates that because we talked about it last year. So Rowan, what have you been up to?
Oh, me? Well, yeah, it's probably good I'm next because I'll go pretty quick. Lots of stuff I'm not going to mention because me and Colton are getting ready for, the what we missed for Now Slaying. So Colton gave me a huge list that, I'm pounding through. So there's lots of movies that I'm going to be talking about here probably in the next week or so. You mentioned I saw Silent Night, Deadly Night. We'll be talking about that. Possibly at some point be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. Too. I don't know. I'm the only one that's seen it so far. And I
got to make time to do it, but I just don't know where I'm going to fit it in between Avatar 3. I need to see that at least 2 to 3 times in theaters.
Yeah.
And I have, Marty Supreme. We got that.
I'll go watch it for you, Rowan, because I have to go pick up Colton's Marty Supreme popcorn bucket.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, and someone's got to do a Now Slaying for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So we can talk about it. I was there. There was lots of kids there. Like, we, got to have our big discussion about it.
Do you know all about the bite of 83 now?
No idea. The spoiler alert is Rowan knew even less than the first one. And I was just like, okay. It kind of felt like a Minecraft movie experience for me.
Whoa.
I was just like, sweet. The few things that I have watched, I checked out Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Randomly watched this at work. I've mentioned me and a coworker. He's got like a list of movies he's trying to watch. And I think maybe my first Werner Herzog movie. I don't know if I feel like I've seen one of his documentaries, but I'm not 100% sure.
Did we go see the Cave one? I feel like we saw that when you were living here.
No, I don't think. It wasn't me.
Wrong. Okay.
Anyway, that movie, it fucking bangs. Bad Lieutenant is just such a banger. It's like, I'm assuming it's like one of the, like, newer, I say original, but like newer 2000s-y, like Nick Cage-esque movies that everyone talks about. It's like there's like scenes of Nick Cage on like meth, essentially, like hallucinating break dancers and laughing maniacally, and it's just wild. It's absolutely wild. Exhibit is like the villain in it, essentially.
And
who else is in this? Sean Young's in it. Okay, no Sean Young. Oh.
No, we love Sean Young.
Eva Mendes is also in it.
No. Oh my god.
Who are you talking
You're forgetting like the most important person in that movie.
Val Kilmer? I don't know.
Fairuza Balk from The Craft.
God damn, that should have been
yeah.
I know,
one.
I was like, Jill's gonna be so disappointed.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm never like, hey, it's the one from The Craft. I'm always like, hey, it's the Nazi girl from American History X. That's always what I just think of.
Fair, also an excellent movie.
Yeah. But yeah, she's in this too. It's a banger movie. It bangs.
And it has nothing to do with the original Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I think it's kind of like American Psycho 2. Like, they just had a script and slapped the name on it, like, right before they released it.
I had read that basically, like, he was calling it Bad Lieutenant and everything, and who is it that did... Is it Abel Ferreira that did the original?
Ferreira, yeah.
Apparently he was pissed, and Werner Herzog was like, I don't give a shit. I'm just calling my movie Bad Lieutenant, and, like, you have no say over it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got nothing to do with it. Then randomly, really fun watch, I guess. I watched Side Effects, Steven Soderbergh movie from 2013.
Good movie.
Yeah, obviously me and Mike's love of our lives, Jude Law in it, and Channing Tatum, like Catherine Zeta-Jones is in this. It's fantastic. I didn't know anything about it. This was my Tubi watch. Like, I think I got home from work, it was like 7 a.m, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna put on a movie till I fall asleep, and I didn't fall asleep. It was so good. If you're into, like, Gone Girl, like, that kind of, like, mystery, like, murder mystery, conspiracy type thing, this is that kind of movie. I feel like it'd be the opposite of what Mike likes, because this is, like, the theme of this movie is you should believe men, not you should believe women. So, the men are the heroes in this one. But, yeah, I thought it was really good, and... it's just it's always fun to see, like, Channing Tatum and, like, he was younger and this random role. And then a first-time watch for me, my only Christmas watch so far, really, other than horror, Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Banger.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. Like, I didn't think it was terrible. It seemed that most people I know think it's really bad.
Wait, was this a first-time watch?
Yeah.
That's diabolical, actually.
Well, so...
Wow.
So I feel like I've definitely seen bits and parts of it, but I've never, like, sat down and watched it. So I've seen... I don't even know if I think I've fully seen the original cartoon. I don't know if I've seen any of the other iterations. So I was like, hey, I watched it one morning, like, Nev was getting ready for school, and we had it on or whatever, and I thought it's weird, like, I feel like it's that decade's version of Cats, the movie. Like, it's just like everyone's really weird looking.
That's so insulting. That's insane.
Like, everything's just like a little bit off, a little unsettling. So I was like, it's very like almost horror adjacent.
Listen, there's way more than just a little bit off with Cats.
Wow.
Musical. That's...
But yeah, I thought The Grinch was... I thought it was pretty good.
Were you incepted by that article going around where it's like Jim Carrey was given a therapist who specializes in human torture to endure like the makeup procedure of getting into the makeup for the Grinch?
I need to see
I
this,
saw that
though.
making
I
around.
imagine. I did see this. I would like to read it. I imagine it because the makeup it's something. Everyone's makeup is like kind of horrific in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he had nothing to deal with compared to Rebecca Romijn as Mystique in the X-Men movies. Please. She had her whole naked body done in makeup every day.
Yeah, I mean...
Also, I just need to tell a quick story.
What
I just want to say that I was in the mall yesterday while I was waiting for the bus after work, and there was legitimately some weirdo going around dressed as the Grinch.
Oof.
And me and these two, I was walking next to these
It
two,
was
like,
Colton,
probably
actually.
25-year-old girls who were kind of, like, waving at him, and he was completely ignoring them. And then as he was passing by us, he just looked at them and went, like, huh! And they screamed so loud you could hear it, like, down at the other end of the mall. Every person in the mall turned around. It was so funny. So the Grinch is just, like, terrorizing people in the mall.
So I work with that guy, and I was just
Oh,
at a
shut
company
up.
supper today where his wife was with me, and she said that her husband was out grinching again. She uses it as a verb.
That's
Apparently, he
awesome.
dresses
Oh
up
my
as the
God,
Grinch
that is
so much around the
fucking
holiday
hilarious.
season.
That is hilarious. I mean, the only other two things I watched, I did get a chance to check out Jay Kelly, which is the new George Clooney, Adam Sandler movie on Netflix.
How was it? I fell asleep 20 minutes in.
Yeah,
and, just never turned it back
it's
on.
It's kind of a snoozer. Adam Sandler's performance is really good in it. I mean, I find usually whenever he's doing like a serious role, he kind of knocks it out of the park. I mean, it's really like bizarre. It has to me, it had a lot to do with Babylon. Like they're in conversation there. Obviously, like it's about making movies. It's kind of the exact same ending as Babylon, like almost exactly.
Does it feature Tobey Maguire in like an opium den?
No, nothing good like that. But it's just weird, like, you know, like Noah Baumbach's like trying to create sympathy for someone that I just don't think anyone is going to feel sympathetic for, like a rich, you know, A++ celebrity superstar, and it's supposed to be a like, woe is me, I'm so lonely, even though like I have no touch with reality and like real human beings.
Listen, it's just really challenging when you have to send your servants to the grocery store.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, you know, it's supposed to be like everyone around him just is kind of like abandoning him and like this guy's out of touch, but it's just like weird because they try to land the plane on like, oh, but it's not his fault. Like he's so famous, he can't be in touch. Like it's just weird, and it also ends with a montage of just George Clooney movies. His, you know, fake character Jay Kelly getting like a tribute that he set up for himself. To give himself an award. Like, basically, he's so famous, his team, like, sets up this award to give him so he feels special. And then, you know, it's like him crying. But they're playing actual George Clooney movies, like, from the past. So it's like Leatherheads and, like, it's just, like, random movies. And it's kind of funny because, like, half of them just aren't good movies. And, like, everybody in the audience is, like, clapping and tearing up. And
is Oh Brother or Hail Caesar in there?
I didn't see those ones, but yeah, it was just, it wasn't very good. It was slow. It was just kind of a whatever burger to me. And I just watched it because I knew like people said, oh, this might be Netflix's like Oscar movie or whatever. And I was like, oh, I'll check it out now. And yeah, I didn't think it was great. And I lied. I did check out one other Christmas movie, and that was the new Netflix Christmas movie. Those are always really terrible. I watched A Merry Little Xmas. This one stars Alicia Silverstone and Oliver Hudson. Who else is in it? Jamila Jamil and Melissa Joan Hart, who for some reason is like billed really high, but she's in it for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. But then I discovered...
Honestly, she definitely deserves billing over all of those people.
She's in a lot of those Christmas Hallmark movies.
I discovered it's because I'm taking it her and her partner actually like produced this one. Like they're credited as the producers. It's not good. They seem to have really hit on the theme since last year with that like the Married Gentleman one about the strippers. This one's like almost exactly the same. It's like a couple that breaks up, but they're still friends, and Alicia Silverstone picks up like a himbo that, like, I'm not giving context to this, but there's a burning 10-foot Christmas tree in like a giant house, and his solution is to strip off his clothes and start stripping and dancing for no reason, just because. And that's what it is. Like, this is literally for the Netflix moms out there. And yeah, it's like, hey, do you want to watch a Christmas movie where like, some like attractive himbo guy's just gonna get like half naked and make all your fantasies come true, I guess. And if your answer is yes, then you'll love this 1-star movie.
1 star.
Other than that, X-Files. I've been watching some X-Files. I'm on season 4. Saw a sweet episode that was like totally influenced by The Hills Have Eyes. It was just like a mutant family. It was sweet. It was awesome. I'm loving season 4, just pounding through it. And yeah, that's it. Colton, what about you?
Oh, I've just been watching so much. We have that What We've Missed Now slaying coming up. So, I've just been mainlining all these horror movies, of course. Like Home Alone, of course. My friend, she picked it for our movie afternoon, and I haven't seen Home Alone, I don't think, since I've been the same age as Kevin McAllister. So all I remembered from the movie was essentially like the wet bandits getting hit in the heads with paint cans and, Kevin singing a song when he's in like the Home Alone. So watching this was almost like a fever dream of just like how much more of a movie is around like the couple of plot points I remembered. Like if you would have asked me what was featured prominently in Home Alone, I would be like, oh, it's like an hour of hijinks and like booby traps and, these bandits trying to break into the house, when realistically it's like 15 minutes near the end. So I was absolutely shocked to see the subplot of the killer shovel man, the neighbor who lives across the street, with the reconciliation with his son for being like an absent father, and just also how brutal his whole entire family is towards him, just like cracking all these jokes and, just completely taking him down a notch. So it was kind of fun. I haven't seen it in ages, as I said, and it was a fun way to kind of try and get in the Christmas spirit, even though I just finished up work. Well, I finish up work tomorrow. So it was just kind of like, it doesn't feel like I'm off for the holidays until I'm actually off. So that was fun, checking out Home Alone.
It's such a good movie. I love it.
Yeah, it's something that I should probably put more so in the holiday rotation, but I always come up with these plans to kind of rewatch some of these movies that I enjoy from like the Christmas season each year, and I just never get around to it. But I completely understand why like Home Alone is in people's heavy rotation.
I watched like 3/4 of that, but I didn't add it because I didn't fully watch it. I watched like the first half, and then I had to leave, and then I came back and I got like the last like 15 minutes.
Well, listen, when it ends on that note of the reconciliation of this killer shoveler that murders everyone with a shovel, just connecting with his family, I was just like, I feel like nobody remembers this from Home Alone. I was just so surprised that this was what the movie ends on. So anyways, what a banger. What a good watch. Yeah, I haven't really watched much else. I watched a short film called Portrait of God because I think it's Sam Raimi and Jordan Peele are producing a feature adaptation about it. And anyways, it was just a really simple little short film. It's essentially about a master's student in art history doing her thesis project on this picture that basically people throughout history believe that they can see God in it. So it's a very simple little story of her kind of in this auditorium projecting this art piece on a screen, her kind of giving her thesis or recording like what she has to say about it. And, throughout the course of the short, you may or may not be able to see God in it. And, as God reveals himself, it's kind of creepy. So I think it worked really well as a short, like a very low budget, clever short. I don't know how they'll fully flesh it out into a feature unless it's kind of like she's seeing this God in all facets of her life, or I don't know, maybe it's like a mass delusion or something like that. But as a little short, 6-7 minutes, whatever it was very effective. I thought it was pretty good, and certainly can understand why people would kind of throw some money towards producing it. And then kind of on the polar opposite of like a short little thing to watch, I checked out, the re-release by everyone's favorite foot-loving Zionist, Tarantino, Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. This has been one that's been on my radar for literally decades, I think. Like, there was always the rumor of this elusive double feature, this director's cut that kind of merges the two movies into one. People were saying there was extra scenes and the crazy 88 fight is all in color and it's super bloody and all this sort of stuff. So this has kind of been always on my watch list of like hoping at some point I'd get to one of these boutique screenings of it and actually be able to check it out. So I thought it was really cool that it did a full theatrical distribution. I think it's like 4.5 hours long, has an intermission in the middle. And as someone who's always been more of a fan of part 2, or volume 2, watching this in the theater, I felt like completely different. Like volume 1 to me felt so singular, so like just like this complete piece that it feels almost unlike anything else. I know it's thrown back to like the old kung fu movies. I know it's like, samurai stuff in there. I know that obviously there's lots of cheesy pulp action in there as well. But when I was watching it, I was just like, I don't know if there's another movie that feels exactly like Kill Bill Volume 1. And when I was watching it, I was just like thoroughly enjoying myself. The stuff they've added in there, like the extended anime sequence was pretty cool. I liked how they kind of cut out some of the cliffhanger sort of stuff to kind of make the movie flow a little bit more. And as someone who hasn't seen Kill Bill since probably like 2015, I didn't remember some of the twists of Volume 2 even that like they kind of cut out to, keep the secret, considering they didn't need like a cliffhanger anymore. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great way to spend kind of the afternoon. It flew by. It did not feel at all like 4.5 hours to me in the theater. And holy fuck, just Uma Thurman, like that's excellent. Obviously, she's went through a lot on that production and whatnot. But yeah, it's a movie for the ages. I really enjoyed it. It was a great watch. But yeah, that's all I've checked out. Mike, I know you were at the whole bloody affair as well. I think we were in the same screening. So what have you been watching? What have you been consuming?
Well, I saw that.
Did you pretend not to know each other?
Well, I saw him come in.
I didn't realize he was there until afterwards. When he logged it, I was like, he must have been there.
Yeah, I was smack dab in kind of like the middle of the theater, and I think Mike came in just kind of a couple of minutes before it started rolling, and I think he sat way up towards the back.
Yeah, I thought I was actually going to be late for the movie because I was like, there's no way I can sit through 5 hours of movie without popcorn.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like, okay, I was like an idiot, and I was like, oh, it's the middle of the afternoon. There's not going to be, like, I'm going to walk in, and the theater is going to be empty, and so I only left myself, like, 10 minutes, and there was about 700 people in line.
Oh, yeah. It was popping. What else was there that had the lines? I thought the same thing. I was going to get, like, I
don't know, but I was like, and then I got in line and was like, I need to leave because my movie's about to start, but I also have been in line for 10 minutes, so I'm committed.
I was just hoping the beef was still on. Like, Mike walked in the theater, you guys locked eyes, just stared each other down.
And then it went,
Yeah.
It only would have been good if before the movie they played a trailer for the Jennifer Lawrence movie, and then just tensions.
And that's right when I walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've also been like really looking forward to this. I mean, every time I watch it, because I had the shitty, like, whatever 15-year-old Blu-rays. I haven't picked up the 4Ks yet because who has that much money? But every time I watch it, I smush both of them together and think like, this is how I should have seen it in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really deserves to be. I didn't even care about extra footage or anything. I was just like, I just want to watch it all as one movie. Because like they do just cut it in the middle, right? Like it's not like one is sort of a complete movie, but like it also isn't because nothing is resolved.
I'm not going to get to see it, but I saw they already announced they're putting a 4K out of that cut. So
oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the reasons why I was like, I'm not going to spend money like $100 on 2 movies.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, just give it a few months.
I already did. I own both on 4K. So I guess I'll have to buy the other one.
That's because you have an addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like obviously a masterpiece. I feel the same way as Colton. Like I hate that I can't stand him as a person because like it really is like you said, an all-timer movie. Yeah. Like 5 stars easily. 5 hours, 5 stars. Like I did not care. I did not want to like look at the time or get up at once during the movie. I was just like, this is such a fucking banger. And I thought it was funny that you always thought that part 2 was like better and kind of like your more favored half. Because I was just always like, part 1's a banger, right? Like,
and I think most people are like that. Like, it's the way more exciting piece.
Yeah,
between the two of
less
them, right?
It's less character driven and more like just set pieces. And
yeah, I think I'm just always partial towards endings. It was kind of why I was a huge Return of the King guy with Lord of the Rings or whatever, right? It's just, I don't know. I like just getting the ending of the story and feeling like, okay, we've gone on the journey. We've got everything we've needed to go or needed to see with Kill Bill Volume 1, it was just, I didn't get that at the time. But seeing it as a full movie, I mean, it was, the first half was definitely stronger. But I mean, still great pieces.
Yeah, and I mean, I think part of it is too that obviously part 2 takes its time a lot more, but part 1 crammed in like all those really like charismatic actors and the kind of crazy soundtrack and stuff. So yeah, I mean, listen, it's maybe even basic for me to have always thought part 1 was better, because like you said, most people kind of have that opinion of it. Anyway, yeah, definitely hope that gets a home video release, because I need it like yesterday. And speaking of re-releases in theaters, when was that? What day of the week is it? Thursday? Oh yeah, Tuesday. Another Tuesday that I went to see a re-release movie. I finally saw, right as it's about to leave, the IMAX re-release of The Shining.
I'm so
one of my
jealous.
all-timers.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. I wanted to see it, but it was just, at the times just didn't line up.
Yeah, and they were only playing it like once a day, and it was only like 6 days. So really, if it was not convenient for you, you were fucked.
Yeah.
Like, I literally had to go see it one morning when I was up at 3:45 a.m. I worked all day. I went home for 2.5 hours and then turned around and got an hour and a half bus back to this 2.5 hour movie. And then I didn't get home till like after 11 at night. I was literally for like 20 hours. Like,
wow.
But it was worth it because it's The Shining. And I've seen The Shining like probably 20 times in my life at least. I've owned it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, and this was truly like, if you are a fan of The Shining and have been kind of putting it off, and you are one of the lucky theaters to have it, like, definitely go see it before it leaves. It was phenomenal.
I'm upset. I don't think I'm gonna get to go see it now. I've seen it in a normal theater twice now, but
yeah,
like man, I'm sure it rips in IMAX.
Oh yeah, and I'm trying to remember. I feel like maybe at some point, like, 15 years ago or something, when they were doing those classic cinema weeks where they just play like 10 movies. I'm sure that I saw that at some point, but this, like, I was literally like gripping my chair, like leaning back because it looks stunning. I think it's probably the 4K transfer that they used, and the sound is insane. Like, the music is popping, every sound effect, obviously this is a very like kind of sound heavy movie. All of the like axes going through walls, when Danny's like driving around the overlook and like his little trike is going on and off the rugs onto the floor and it's just like clunking. Oh my god, it just like sounds it was like terrifying. It was like watching the movie all over again. So like 100%, it's such an immersive experience. Go see it.
Would you say like between The Shining and Eyes Wide Shut, like Stanley Kubrick is like kind of a director you should look out for?
I think that he's actually like a Christmas director. They'll probably tap him for some of the Lifetime movies.
Hell yeah.
Honestly.
Hot Frosty 2.
Yeah, exactly. Starring Gretchen Wieners herself, Lacey Chabert.
It'll be like AI Stanley Kubrick. They'll just do it.
Yeah,
that way.
it's the Stanley Kubrick Mean Girls crossover that you didn't know you needed and you didn't know you wanted.
Please.
Oh my god, it's just so sacrilegious. Like,
we joke about all this, and it's like we could just go and plug this into AI right now and watch it. We're in such a dystopian future.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
It's not even like the dystopian future is on the way. Like, it's fully here right now.
Yeah.
Like, we're already in it. Like, sorry, y'all.
We're cooked.
It just gets worse in the future. Like, we're already like fully immersed in it. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier when Jill was doing her rundown, I also rewatched Eyes Wide Shut recently.
Really?
It was, yes. Oh, I thought you knew that. I logged it.
Fuck, I didn't see it.
Yeah, we had a movie club night on Saturday this past week. There was 5 of us watching it, and one of our friends that came had never seen it before at all. So, we just like cracked open a bottle of wine, had some snacks, and watched the Criterion 4K. And like I mentioned when you were talking about it, like, it is actually like, I've also owned that and everything. I saw it in theaters. I've had the VHS, DVD, everything. When I got the 4K, I put it in and played like 4 or 5 minutes of one scene and then took it out and put the old Blu-ray in and played the same like 4 minutes. And it's literally like night and day. Like it gagged me. My jaw was on the floor. This film looks so good on this disc. Like it's stunning. I just kept wanting to, if I was by myself, I would have been pausing it, like taking pictures of my TV the whole time.
You should have watched it how Kubrick meant for it to be watched, which is on Tubi.
On Tubi, yeah. With, what is it, Colton? 15 minutes of ads every 5 minutes?
Yep. Yeah, it took me a long time to watch it. It's a long movie.
And it's a long movie. Like, it's already a, like, 2.5 hour movie, so I'm sure it was, like, fully 3 hours.
But I bet you're going to book your next hotel with Trivago, though. That's for sure.
Stop it.
So the Trivago guys are like multiplying. I keep waiting for the new iteration of the commercial to come out, and there's like 7 of them, and they're like having a conference, and everybody in the conference is like Trivagoing this one guy fucking paid full price for his hotel room. And then it's just going to be like the whole planet is just like, you just hear Trivago, like crickets echoing across the whole face of the planet. Yeah. So if you're a Kubrick fan and have been maybe not wanting, it's actually, I was going to say not wanting to spend the money on this disc. It's not even for a Criterion disc that expensive. Like I got it on sale in Canada and it only cost me like $40.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
So definitely, and don't listen to what weird idiots on the internet say. And they're like, oh, it doesn't look right. The colors aren't right. Like, literally, the cinematographer supervised the transfer and said, this is how it's supposed to look.
Tell him, Mike. Tell those idiots.
I mean, like, who are you arguing with the person that shot the movie that it doesn't look right? Like, they look like idiots. I'm sorry.
Would you say that it's a Christmas movie?
It is 100% a Christmas movie. 1,000%. It's literally lit by Christmas lights for most of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I watch it every like winter season. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, there's Christmas trees in most scenes, and where there isn't Christmas trees, there's like colored lights in the background.
Yeah,
and
it makes
like
a great double feature with Home Alone.
Oh, for sure. I would 100% do that. 100%. I actually also would do one with another of his Christmas movies, The Shining. Anyway, so the last couple things I watched were, one was, everyone's gonna like fucking laugh at this, but it's like an absolute banger movie, and it's the Judy Garland musical Meet Me in St. Louis.
Oh my god,
it's beautiful. Like, I cannot tell you, I'm not like generally a musical fan, but Judy Garland is actually like a superstar. Like, you just can't argue with it. And this is the movie that the only good Christmas song ever to be recorded came from, and it's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
The only good
one? I only listen to Christmas songs that make you want to run out into traffic.
There's a couple of those.
There is, and this is one of them. I'm like, if you're having a mental breakdown and depressed and listening to a Christmas song, it's this one.
You guys are listening to the wrong Christmas music. Our family, we only listen to one CD, and it's Tales from the Crypt Christmas music, and it's just the Crypt Keeper singing versions of Christmas carols.
Nice flex.
It's amazing.
Oh God, that is so your family. That's all I'm saying. And the last thing I watched, I think, Ro, you will be proud of this. On our Tubi night, instead of watching a female-centered 90s TV movie as we usually do, we watched the Jean-Claude Van Damme masterpiece, Time Cop.
Time Cop. Absolute banger. When we transit,
it looks really good on Tubi. I was actually shocked how good that movie looks.
I gotta get the 4K of it. When the podcast
is there a 4K? I'll buy the 4K. I know I only gave it 3 stars, but like, it's whatever.
I think Scream Factory put out the 4K.
I mean, it's no hard target. I'm definitely gonna get a hard target 4K, but like for Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, it's pretty good. When
we switch the podcast to science fiction so that we can cover the Steven Spielberg UFO movie, the first old movie will be Time Cop by Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is an absolute banger. Absolute banger.
I'm leaving the podcast at that point.
It's a banger.
What do you think of the trailer, Rowan? Since you bring it up,
I haven't watched it yet. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Like, it's popped up, and I've just been waiting. I'll tell you what I've been waiting for, because it kept popping up on my phone, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it when I'm on my big television. I saw like the poster screenshots, and we'll see. I'm always
crazy.
down.
Emily Blunt's just beatboxing throughout it.
Oh, Dispatch Day?
Is that what it's called?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Dispatch Day, isn't it?
Oh, that's what everybody's watching.
Disclosure
I saw a lot of
Day.
people posting
Disclosure Day.
Oh,
Fuck
Disclosure
me.
Day. Yeah.
Same thing. Every time I've been trying to talk about that movie, like in the last 24 hours, because we actually like filmed.
Nobody knows what she's
trailer
talking
reaction.
about.
I call it something different that starts with DIS.
I'm very upset that none of you guys have watched Wake Up Dead Man. Speaking of Disclosure Day, who has Josh O'Connor in it. He's amazing in Wake Up Dead Man.
I haven't seen the second one yet.
You do not have to watch that one. You can skip right to the third one.
Okay.
The second one is not
so
good.
in my defense, I did download it.
Oh, okay.
So I just haven't had a chance to like watch it yet.
You're halfway there. I'll give it to you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for handing it to me for once.
So let's get in to our holiday season pick, which was Christmas Evil from 1980. And why did we pick it? Well, it's in the name, Christmas. It's the holidays. We had to pick a movie, and no one wanted to do Gremlins, at least yet. Probably because it's a banger. That's why we were just scared how much a banger it is. But yeah, I feel like we kind of picked this one because I don't think anyone had seen it, or mostly no one had seen it. And we were like, oh, it'd be cool to do this. So yeah, that's why we picked it. So, you know what? I think let's just get to the trailer, the synopsis, and we're going to talk about whether or not any of us have seen it or not.
But if you're bad boys and girls, your name goes in the bad boys and girls book. And I'll bring you something horrible.
Christmas Evil was written and directed by Lewis Jackson, and the story is as follows. After witnessing his mother get it on with Santa, a mentally scarred child grows up to become a mentally scarred adult. And after being ostracized by his coworkers at the local toy factory, he does what any self-respecting incel would do: don a Santa suit, climb in his pedo van, and embark on a killing spree, spreading his own form of holiday cheer.
Who wrote that?
Colton.
Actually?
Yeah.
Colton.
Incel.
Of course.
So, is it our first time seeing Christmas Evil, or is this just something we put on every holiday season? Any slasher with a Santa is on our wish list. Mike, is this your first time seeing Christmas Evil?
Yes. It's funny because we kind of, like you said, we were sort of like arguing back and forth, like, you know, what are we going to pick this year? And I think we are saving Gremlins. That's why we didn't choose it, because Gremlins is a banger, spoiler alert. So I don't want to, like, as somebody very wise would say, blow my load too soon by choosing it. So I voted for this because I had never heard of it before. So we all kind of landed on this. And it's funny because since we decided this, like, whatever it was, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I've been seeing a lot of people log it on Letterboxd and posting it online.
Mm-hmm.
I had never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not just me.
No.
I was like, man, like, what is this movie? And then within days of us deciding we were going to choose this one, it was everywhere.
Resurgence of Christmas Evil.
Yeah, some would call us influencers.
True. But speaking of influencers, like, what about you? Have you, Colton, ever heard of it? I just feel like.
I feel like I've heard of it, or at least have recognized the poster, but was it on my radar as something to watch? Really? No. Would have I watched it? Probably without this show forcing me to. Maybe in like 10 years' time. It's one of those that, without people kind of logging it for the past 2 weeks, semi-regularly on Letterboxd, I don't know if it would have really made much of an impact or really was on my radar all that much. So yeah, this is my first time watching it. I'm embarrassed to say that I broke my cardinal rule and I watched this in 2 sittings because I fell asleep 30 minutes into the movie the first time I was watching it. It was like after work and a long day, so I passed out. And then I came home tonight and I had to like mainline the last hour of the movie. So I will not be commenting on the pacing of this movie because I have no fucking idea like what it's actually like. But yeah, this was a first time watch for me. What about you, Jill?
Yeah, it's also a first time watch for me. And I also broke your cardinal sin of watching it in 2 sittings.
Plus, it's like 80 minutes.
I was like, I was sick, man. So
it's 100 minutes.
I rewatched it though. Like I started it from the beginning today. So yeah, it's my first watch and it wasn't really on my radar as well. But I have seen the same trend on Letterboxd of everyone talking about this. So I think that's very interesting. What about you, Rowan?
Yeah, we're 4 for 4. I have never seen this. I knew about it. I've heard people talk about it, not really like in depth or anything, but whenever people are making like holiday horror lists or suggesting something, like, oh, we see this pop up. So I've always kind of been like, oh yeah, I got to keep that in mind. And then, you know, it's just one that I never really like go out and look for. So yeah, this was like a totally, I almost feel like Colton, even though I like kind of had it marked in my head, like obviously so far in my life, I've not picked this up and watched it. So it's not something I probably would do. I find the holidays is kind of weird with me in horror because I return to winter horror movies that I watch all the time, just like the Christmas movies I watch all the time. And it's like, that's when I do like my traditional watching of stuff. So it's very rare, like something new gets put in that rotation. I think like the last new thing I put in was The Lodge. Well, The Lodge, obviously Frozen's going in there like with a bang.
Of course.
Of course. But, yeah, so, first time watch from all of us. So with that, you know what? Like, let's open up the presents. We got a weird nutcracker guy in one. I don't know, what is he, like an army man, an iron army man or something? And the other one, it's a lovely review from the SLEIGH podcast about Christmas Evil.
Cute.
So, yeah, let's talk about it very merrily. My first note on this was just I really enjoyed the cutting, like when we have the Santa scene. And the first thing that really jumped out to me is like the kids on the stairwell, and then it just like rough edit cut, and the kids are no longer there. And I just knew from then I was in for something that I was probably going to enjoy.
The editing is a little frenetic at times, to say the least. You know, it's kind of like a jump cut right away.
When it came up, my first thought was, I can't wait to know whether or not Colton liked or disliked the editing of this movie.
Did I misread the first subtitle or chyron that comes up? Did it say Christmas Eve 1947?
Yes.
Why?
Or it was 40-something.
Why?
Was he a kid
Does
then?
anyone...
Because it was him as a kid, and then it was cutting to him as a 40-something
His
year old.
childhood trauma.
Okay.
The night it all
started
when he saw his mommy kissing
I saw
Santa
mommy
Claus.
kissing Santa Claus.
Yeah. When I was watching the movie, I didn't factor in the time jump.
Oh my God.
And I was like, why did they set this movie in the 40s? All right, never mind. Okay, we're back on track. It makes sense.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I really like the whole intro of this movie. I love the fact, just like Santa. Mom isn't kissing Santa Claus. Mom's banging Santa Claus. So
We've all heard the song.
Yeah, it's a tale older than time that they did put in a Christmas song. Mommy's banging.
But my
Santa.
question is, so mommy's banging Santa Claus. Is he going to get stuck in her chimney because he's so hung? Like in the other song.
Is he going to fill her stocking? Is he going to stuff her like a stocking?
Come on, bro. I need answers to these questions. What do you think? Is Santa going to get stuck in her chimney?
But also, how come Santa had like a little bowl of water to like clean his hands before he ate the food that was left for him? You know what I mean? It was like bread or something. Like what was
the
that?
Pregnant pause you did after you said before he ate. I'm like, wait.
Is that why he
Jill,
cleans?
Are you just like going?
Wait, Jill was watching the X-rated cut of this movie.
Perhaps.
What can we say? Santa's a freak, guys. No, but I thought this was very this was like hitting all my like pleasure spots with like Italian horror.
As was Santa.
Yeah, well, Santa was hitting those pleasure spots hard. But no, like it had like the coloring, like the blood coloring when the kid's cutting his hand, like a very giallo feel at the beginning, and
that beautiful red carpet.
Yeah. Well, and with that weird edit of the kids in and out on the stairwell, I was trying to figure out, I'm like, well, is this just because it's like a low budget film, or is this just like we're gonna go weird, like we're gonna go like weird art house, it's edited like that on purpose type thing. And I think, by the time we're done talking about it and we get to the ending, it might have been on purpose. So thank God for marijuana. That's all I have to say.
What did we think about the kid just going up and cutting himself with the snow globe? It's kind of the opening for this movie. I thought it was such an unhinged little Christmas horror moment to start things off.
Yeah, I don't really understand his source of trauma. Like, I thought it was going to be more complicated and,
a little dramatic,
and maybe it
right?
is that, there's things we're not seeing totally. And I like that we don't even know.
I mean, yeah, it's not like there was any penetration or anything.
There was no penetration. There's just a little groping. But
it's like he saw mommy's garters. Ooh.
Yeah. And then you don't see his parents later on. It's just him and his brother and his brother's wife and kids. So I like that we don't even know. Like, we know something is off about this guy, but we don't really know what it is.
Yeah, because the brother is like very protective of him, or doting, or he takes care of him, obviously, even though he's got a decent job, and you don't. I feel like maybe unless I missed something, you don't like there's little gaps there that we're kind of filling in. Mm-hmm. And like the parents, I mean, obviously the parents might be missing anyway because they might just be dead, but like,
maybe he killed them.
Are they dead because they died of natural causes, or exactly? Like, was that his like origin story?
Yeah, that was something coming into the movie, that it's the synopsis or the little blurb when you kind of pull up this movie, right? Like, I'm sure probably a couple of us at least checked out what was this movie even about before we started watching it. And I was like, childhood trauma. What is this trauma going to be? And I was watching it. I was like, okay, yeah, mom's kissing Santa Claus, whatever. And I'm waiting for the big grand reveal in the third act, Oh,
like
Santa
he like
Claus
strangles her with her.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
they go a little bit too far and kills her or something, and he's there to witness it. Or, I was expecting some big revelation, and it literally is just like this idea of Santa Claus being, basically as a kid when you believe in Santa, just that whole facade kind of crumbling in front of him.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's like, sorry, kid, Santa's a sexual being too.
That's your dad.
Yeah, I was like, that's it? That was the whole revelation here? That's it? So I almost wish I didn't even know that it was about childhood trauma going in, because I was waiting for, the third act revelation. And I will say that the movie doesn't deliver in that way. It does deliver in some other ways, but not in the childhood trauma, part for me.
No, for sure. And I mean, then he's like starts like cutting essentially. And it's like, girl, this is A does not lead to B, does not lead to C. Like there's missing links here.
Mm-hmm.
To me, like ultimately, like the cutting, and then as we get into him as an adult, I thought it was like interesting, because I was just like, oh, this, like, I will say this movie, like a little darker and bleaker than I was like kind of expecting for a 1980 Christmas slasher. I was like, oh, like, yeah, we really are going to get into like some like depression trauma, and just like, like you said, Mike, like this guy has like a fairly good job, like he's moving up in the company, and everything's kind of on the up and up, other than he is disconnected from everybody, and is like basically just has like severe depression, and nobody cares. Apparently, I also thought it was weird, like everyone like kind of bullies him at work because he's nice, I guess, but
he's such a schmuck.
A schmuck, but like I almost felt they didn't overly justify why everyone's a piece of shit to him.
No, because they don't know that he spends all his time with binoculars spying in people's and like children's bedroom windows. They don't know that, so that's not the reason why they're bullying him. It's the reason why they should bully him, but they don't know that. They're just like, we know something through his aura is off.
I love that this character's breaking point is somebody making him or asking him to take a shift and lying about why he needs the shift covered.
Oh, that would be my Joker origin story too.
I was gonna say something that probably all of us have experienced in real life,
We've all done
especially
it, yeah.
when we're working those, entry level jobs. That I was like, oh, okay, at least this is a little relatable. I don't know if it'd make me go, murder people with a nutcracker, but it'd get me at least a step closer. Or two.
Dude, you just reminded me of a time when I worked with Rowan at Subway that he took time off because Exelia got her wisdom teeth taken out. And they saw you walking across the parking lot and they were like talking mad shit. And I was like, geez, like he's walking his wife home.
Oh my God. I got to talk about another work story.
Let's go.
You just reminded me, Jill. So a couple days ago, this woman, she called in sick, right? And in the film industry, it's very rare you get anyone calling sick at all. But this lady, she couldn't come in. She called in sick. And then she showed up at work in the afternoon with her pet goat and started bringing it around for people to like pet her goat.
The fuck?
And I was just like, you must feel really comfortable in your position as a very, low level on the totem pole position to just call in sick at the beginning of the day and then bring your goat for show and tell in the afternoon.
But did she come in to work?
No, she was off the book. She just came in to show her goat. Yeah, she was.
So she called in sick and then just came in to hang out.
Yeah, with the goat. Like some show and tell.
Don't forget the
wow.
goat.
I don't know. It was baffling to me too. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, but you just reminded me. Yeah.
Those are your Joker origin story moments.
Yeah. How do we feel about our Joker in this movie? Rowan called it a Christmas slasher, but to me, to tell you the truth, when I was watching it, it was something closer to like a Taxi Driver. Or,
100%.
Henry, Portrait of a Serial
literally
Killer.
Standing in front of the mirror.
Yeah, or, King of Comedy, or of course, more recently, like a Joker, just like a social outcast, kind of unwell, antisocial sort of character. How do we feel about Harry? Did we have any sympathy for him? Was he just so fucking weird? Like, I kind of enjoyed the performance. I thought Brandon Mager did a pretty good job.
It was actually kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
Because it could have just been like another incel, loser. And obviously there was an aspect to that, but he actually did have his heart in the right place and was trying to do good things for the community and for children, and he actually gave a fuck about somebody other than himself. It just happens that he also had those losery incel vibes too.
Yeah, he was the fucking man because when he was at that party and he saw that shitty little video about like the guy who manages his company or owns the company literally on his private island telling all of his workers to pitch him money so that kids can have toys on Christmas, and he was like, fuck that. And he was like, I'm gonna burn this place to the ground. I'm gonna break your toys. I'm gonna redistribute the wealth of toys here. Mm-hmm. And you're right, he did have his heart in the right place, and I feel like he was really pure, like as a soul, but he just didn't go about it the right way. But another thing I really liked about it too is there were moments in the movie where I wasn't sure if it was like supernatural or if we're like descending into madness with him, like when he's at the hospital with the children and the wind and the snow starts like swirling and he like becomes Santa Claus, right?
It's so magical.
It is.
Merry Christmas as he's delivering all the gifts, and he just basically threatened this old guy.
Yes.
Take the toy inside.
The man was like reaching for his fucking gun.
Yeah.
That's when I reached for my revolver. Yeah.
I was like, this is Santa.
Insane.
Like, this reminds me of the Santa Claus. Like, he's really Santa. And I found it hard to believe he wasn't at times as well. So I fell into that delusion. And I love the like holiday aspect. Like, it is a magical movie. And one more thing, that scene where he goes into that like club or whatever and he's handing out gifts to kids and he's dancing. It's just like
he just busts a move.
It's so happy. Like, it's so nice.
Also, the music is just fire.
Yes.
It's a banger. Yeah.
I mean, the music, the score of this is fantastic. Also,
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. It just
I feel
100% on point.
I feel like Jill just walked into like 3 great scenes in the movie and just kind of went throughout it. But this was the sort of thing where there was multiple points throughout it that I was just really enjoying myself. To go back to like the toy drive thing, I was absolutely shocked when basically Pete Campbell from Mad Men walks in and he's like,
"Oh,
yo,
yeah,
this is my great marketing idea." And I was like, this little shit is balding, just like Pete from Mad Men. I was instantly just enraged seeing that little weasel on screen.
It's so funny you say that because I was just rewatching Mad Men. I think it just showed up on whatever platform. I love Mad Men, but I fucking hate Pete.
Oh,
it's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Pete's Exilia's favorite character in Mad Men.
No way. Wow.
He redeems himself later on when he becomes a hippie.
Yeah, but because his wife is one of the greatest actresses of all time.
Yeah, but
obviously.
But yeah, following that scene where he's like, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to go donate 34 toy dump trucks. I was like, all right, no variety for these kids that need toys, but I liked where his heart was at. Just, going across the toy line, just filling his sack full of the same toy dump truck. What a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I also love the fact of him just like robbing all the like people that have tons of gifts, and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna take some of these gifts too. You don't need all those gifts. Christmas Evil, a real Marxist movie. Yeah,
I was actually thinking there was a lot of like anti-capitalist ideas in this movie, and that's why I was very much like into him as a character. I'm like, he is like fighting against the man, and he sees like corporate greed, and he said, I'm gonna fucking do something about this.
Hell yeah.
And he also punishes the people with no class loyalty who are like putting their shit on other people so they can go out to the bar. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Just saying.
But yeah, I think it's just so funny that there's like this psychoanalysis of this guy going on. We're talking about, there's all these like commentary on capitalism, and then I'm like reading about when they made the movie, and it was like the guy that made it was literally just, he said he got really stoned one night and thought about what it would be like if Santa Claus just had a knife. And that was like the concept of that's what it butted into. And I like to think there's a real struggle there of like, hey man, like we could really fight capitalism with this horror Christmas movie. And then like someone else is like, yeah, but you could also make the horniest Christmas movie ever where people die. You could also do that. And they were just like, yeah, man, that all sounds good. That sounds amazing.
Yes.
I love that you just revealed that the director's like major idea for the movie was Santa with a knife, because that scene later in the movie, we're jumping around all over the place, but where that kid Angelina gives Santa the knife, it feels like, I don't know, Thor getting his hammer or some shit.
Yeah.
I was watching it. I was like, okay, I don't know if we're supposed to resonate with this knife so strongly, but the movie's making a complete meal out of this sequence of getting him the knife that I was just like, all right, what's he gonna do with it? I was so ready. And
it turns out the answer is nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, which is it's also kind of great.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I know you don't want to mention Colton, but so I don't think, like Mike said, this is a pretty short movie. I don't think the pacing's off, but I think the pacing is off if you're going into it thinking like, oh, I'm about to go watch like, I'm gonna watch this after I watch Silent Night, Deadly Night, or like something like that. Mm-hmm. Because I think, as we kind of said earlier, it's almost like not a full-out horror movie. It's more of this Joker-esque like look at depression and being an outcast. So, because I made a note when I was watching it, I'm like, oh, the first kill in it isn't till like 50 minutes into the movie. And I'm like, this isn't a long movie, so I'm like, that's quite a long ways for a kill to be. But then, once I'm done the movie and I'm like processing, I'm like, oh, well, wait a second, like there's so much more meaning into it that isn't just this like horror slasher that I think this movie kind of unfairly gets marketed nowadays as, Which I know, like, the people that made Silent Night, Deadly Night say, like, this was the inspiration for them to make that, and these guys were inspired by, well, I shouldn't say inspired by Halloween, because I know they said the script was written before Halloween, but once Halloween came out and was big, that's how they got the financing. They're like, hey, we got a Christmas horror movie.
Holiday slasher, yeah.
Fun for the whole family.
Oh, quick question. Did anybody watch a version that the title card was Better Watch Out, I think? Or
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I think that was in my version. My version also had hard-coded French subtitles whenever there'd be text on screen. That I was like,
I should have sent you the
great.
one I have because there was no
Where
subtitles.
did you watch yours?
Thankfully, it wasn't too often, but yeah, there was
the
like
deep
one
sea
section. Yeah.
I found it before I realized that it was on Tubi.
Yeah,
and
I
then I was
watched
like,
on
well, I'm
Tubi.
actually glad that I can watch a non-Tubi version.
And the Tubi version also had the Better Watch Out thing.
Yeah.
Because that was one of my notes.
Okay.
I was like, oh, apparently this was, I was like, did they change the name? But then I looked at it, it was, I think it was called Better Watch Out, like in some countries.
I think I have a copy of it here. You keep talking, I'm going to find it.
Jill's just leaving the
Yeah,
podcast.
Jill's done with the show this evening.
Yeah.
She's had enough of this incel Santa movie. Yeah, for me, when I was watching it, that section where it's talking about, what is the name of the company? Jolly Dream, where it says, if it's not a jolly dream, it ain't worth having. It was just, my screen was covered in French subtitles. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Still in the wrap.
Wow.
And
wow.
it says you better watch out.
Jill showing off her Blu-ray
Nice.
Anthony's.
copy of
But
Christmas Evil.
John Waters said the greatest Christmas movie ever made.
Wait, but why did you watch it on Tubi if you had a beautiful Blu-ray?
Because this is Anthony's and he was at work when I was watching it, and so I just watched it on Tubi.
And you didn't
Also.
just text him and be like, I'm opening.
Oh,
I love
there
that.
we
Deadly
go.
Games
Mhm.
for
Yes.
listeners. She's holding up.
Vinegar Syndrome.
What's it called? Code Santa?
Yeah, Dial
Or
Code
Operation
Santa Claus.
Dial
Deadly
Code
Games.
Santa.
That was a banger.
Our pick from a couple years ago.
Which is still one of my favorite
Yeah.
movies we've ever done on this podcast.
I was hoping Colton was going to keep describing what Jill was doing, because it just reminded me, I forgot what I was watching the other day, but it had like the, whatever it's called, the audio when they
Described video.
And
Yeah.
I didn't know what
Yeah.
the fuck was going on. I didn't know it was on, and it was like telling me about the production company, and it's like, a light is shining through the letters S, and I was like, what is going on, right? And I thought it was like part of the movie, it was a joke or something, and it wasn't. It was just...
When I turned this movie on tonight, because as I said, I watched like 30 minutes of it, fell asleep, and then had to watch the last hour this evening. I came in, and I was so confused that this guy... this guy was in blackface, and he was running up to a house and rubbing his face on it, and I was so confused that I was like, what am I coming into here? Like, so what's scarier, blackface or a killer Santa?
Blackface.
Mm.
It's unsettling.
To be fair, it was just dirt.
Yeah, I know.
But then he made the imprint.
And it was like,
he like marked the house like to fucking kill that
yeah,
kid.
he's like, there's
Okay,
a bad
but see,
kid here.
Okay, it's funny that you guys brought up Mad Men, because when I was watching that scene, it made me think of Mad Men, and it made me think of like the hobo code, and he was like marking it for other like incel like
Oh my God.
socialist Santas. I don't
Yeah,
know why. I
there's
literally was like
dozens of
wrote
them.
down like the hobo code question mark.
There is that one scene in the movie with the Santa lineup where there's like the one Santa Claus who he steps out a little bit further so he looks 7 feet tall. So I don't
Yeah.
know. There is a lot of sketchy
And he's really
looking
skinny?
Santas.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, in this
The
town.
Black Santa, and he's like, you guys got to be kidding me, when he's in the lineup at the police station. That had me
Yeah.
cracking up.
I love that this movie doesn't give a shit about the detective storyline either. And once again, my perception of time in this movie is completely off, but I checked and it's like 55 minutes into the movie they're introducing the detective B plot. It's never resolved. I don't know if it's ever given really any more time than a scene or
not
two.
really.
And I'm just like, this is the way we should do it in these slashers. I'm so sick of spending 30 minutes with the detectives figuring out what we already know because we've been following the killer. So I was happy just to kind of jump in there and then just be like, yo, it's a killer Santa. Well, you know, and that's kind of the explanation. That was great. That's all I needed.
It kind of follows this interesting, I think it's at this interesting turning point, right? Like right in 1980 of like the more kind of 70s, like out there avant-garde, like artsy type stuff where we're coming into the 80s of just like straight slasher. And I think this like really draws this like fine line of like the switch to the 80s because it's like a little of both there. Because I found there were so many plot points in this that I'm like, this movie, it's weird because it does give a shit about like this serious story, but then it also kind of just doesn't give a shit about any of the story it puts out because it just bounces around to like a totally different topic or theme of what's going on, you know, and we're riding this roller coaster of like, oh yeah, this is kind of like a horror movie. And no, it's not at all. It's kind of sweet and endearing, and I just, it's just amazing. It really, really doesn't surprise me that John Waters likes this. that really does make sense to me.
What do we think of the look of Santa Claus in this movie? There's this moment earlier on where he puts glue on his face and he puts the beard on and he like stares into the mirror and he goes, "It's me," becoming Santa Claus. And then for the rest of the movie, he just kind of looks like a perfect Santa, but like a perfect kind of grungy, perfect. You know, it's like the character design is really good because there's a couple of sequences where he's kind of framed with children as like, you know, the jolly Saint Nick, but then he's also grungy enough and weird enough to be a killer as well that I really like this portrayal of Santa in the movie. I like this really long mustache, you know, kind of how he wasn't like super chubby. It was this is a great on-screen Santa.
Yeah. Was he padding also when he was like,
he padded
with the leg? And I like the montage of him creating the costume as well, like cutting the fur and sewing everything together. He's really like the perfect classic Santa Claus, but also he does look a little grimy.
Because he had like a production studio for like costumes and also a like fucking like whole smithing setup, and it's like I'm like making molds, like melting steel and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I thought he was in an apartment. It looked like a little tiny apartment. It's like, where is all this stuff fitting?
Had
like
a garage.
I like that we're like, he's the perfect Santa. He drives around in a pedo van and carries a ladder.
But he painted a
to
sleigh.
Climb on people's roofs.
He painted a sleigh on the ladder. And when he's driving, I love it when he's like, he actually thinks he's like driving a sleigh. He's like whipping it and shit. And he's like saying on Dasher, on blah, blah, blah. He thinks he's actually like riding the sleigh, man. He really embodies it.
As he becomes Santa or whatever, are the costumes like getting together? I'm not gonna lie, I really thought that because he gets like more gone as it goes, right? Because he's like getting more out there, and you know, obviously like hallucinating or whatever's going on. And I kept thinking, I'm like, oh my god, you know what's gonna happen? Like he glued this stuff. I was like, this is gonna turn into like some sort of body horror where like he is like the beard is his now, the hair is his, like he is Santa. You know, basically a horror version of the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. And like, I was like, here we go.
It wouldn't surprise me if it went that way, because I really thought he actually became Santa and like that was him now.
I agree. I believe he was Santa. You know, the man that we knew as Harry, he didn't exist anymore after he put that beard on. And just like how wide and expressive his eyes would get throughout the movie too. I loved it. There's so many scenes where the shot composition was so simple. It'd be like, I don't know, he's smothering someone, let's say. And it's just like the shot you look at, it's pretty unappealing. It's like him against just a pink painted wall or something, because you know when it cuts back to him, it's like he has that look on his face because he's in the act of smothering someone, but his face is somehow so expressive despite it being covered in like fake hair and a hat and whatnot. They picked this guy like perfectly for like these bulging crazy eyes, but also when he's not insane in the moment, they're these big eyes that I can understand why like children would, you know, think he's endearing or like trustworthy. Like he looks trustworthy when he's just hanging out giving out toys. I thought it was so interesting watching this character. I really enjoyed just seeing when he'd break. He didn't break like as much as I thought was going to be in this movie. The moment in which he brandishes the nutcracker and gouges out the guy's eye, and then the way the movie frames, you know, the axe just like by itself against the sky as it's like coming down on people. It was so exciting. I don't know. It was like
that
quaint.
was a beautifully filmed scene.
Yeah.
The editing and the cinematography on that scene were like perfection.
And it was also like so quaint. Like when I was watching it, I was like, okay, the effects are a little hokey, you know, but like it had kind of.
But
the
at least
power.
they're not CG, right? Like,
well, exactly, yeah. But it also had like still an effect on me when I was watching it. That when it kind of cut to the wide and you see like he murdered 3 people, I was like, holy shit! I didn't realize he was doing that much damage. Damn, Santa.
Same. Did his axe look a little like it looked like candy, or like it kind of looked like a toy axe a little bit?
That's what I thought it was, because he kills the one guy with like the nutcracker type thing, like he stabs him, and then I was like, oh, this is like some sort of toy axe that he's made, because it is very small. But I mean, yeah, that seems so good, and yet again, just like the beginning, like just perfect coloring of blood, like it just like that wide shot's so awesome, and the music's awesome in it. And...
Oh, we got to talk about the music, because it's not only just the music that is like chopped and screwed, you know, Christmas music that's slowed down and sped up and it feels like it's played in reverse sometimes. It's also like the moments in the movie where they just duck out the sound entirely and it's just super strange. Like you'll have a woman screaming, but all you hear is like his boot steps leaving the room and stuff like that. They did a really good job of making this unnerving for what it was. You know, just a man having a mental breakdown, just creeping around, you know?
Like you said, the sound design mixed with the music, it's just, I'd be very interested to know if that is an happy accident result, or if like all of that was on purpose, or because it does work really well.
This reeks to me of a composer kind of figuring it out as he goes along in this movie. It's still of the age where we don't have like the traditional horror music in every single movie. So I feel like he was trying to take Christmas music and make it sound eerie. And sometimes it was just like experimental and strange. Other times it was really effective and, you know, making it kind of a little spooky for the season. But I thought it was like overall a really interesting score. This like at the very least, like fun to listen to.
It reminded me a lot that like the sounds and the score. It reminded me of Suspiria a little bit, but also the color of the blood reminded me of Suspiria. But one thing I wanted to say about like the sounds, there was this, I don't know if it was like a high pitch sound that they would use all the time, but it was like really loud. And I recall that sound in my childhood in like cartoon Christmas movies. So yeah, that also makes me believe that it's like Christmassy.
Oh.
Like some kind of vintage Christmas stuff.
Neat.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but that's cool. Next time I watch it, I'll have to listen a little harder.
I was just looking to see if the soundtrack was available on streaming, and I'm on Apple Music, and it looks like it isn't, but there is a song from last year called Christmas Evil by a group called Haunt, and it's hip-hop rap, and the single cover is musty, dirty Santa holding the switchblade.
Oh no.
So it's based on this movie, so I love that. I gotta listen to that later.
Yeah, that's good.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
We were talking about Santa stuffing Mom's chimney as we started this discussion. The moment in the movie where Santa actually gets stuck in the chimney was a visceral moment of horror for me as I was watching it. And I also believed like that he was actually going to slide down the chimney. I don't know if any of you guys thought like he was going to manage to suck in and slide down. But like that's where the movie's kind of almost fooling us in what we're watching as well, right? Because if he just slid down the chimney and went in and murdered people, like we are purely operating in this fantastical world. But since they ground it where it's like, no, he can't get down there. He's just stuck and he has to find another way to break in. I thought it was such a fun little moment. And once again, kind of grounding the movie in like, that it's a dude experiencing a mental break.
Yeah.
I don't like you suggesting that a man doesn't come down your chimney yearly.
Only once a year.
Wow.
Nightly. Daily, nightly, and ever so rightly.
God.
The issues, my other notes, I'm not going to lie, are like mostly about like the last 10 minutes of this movie where I'm thriving.
Yeah, it's kind of the same with me. I have like a note about this suffocating scene, but we already kind of talked about the audio design. But the quick scramble of just grabbing the tree chopper, the star, and slitting that dude's throat and then just walking out of there. That was a power move, I thought.
That was stressing
right
me
in front of
out.
his wife too.
That was stressful to watch because it took him so long to do it, and I was like, she's gonna wake up. Like, you need to get on with it.
Yeah, and following that scene where he winds up going into that back alley where he does get the switchblade. I mentioned earlier, but just like Santa giving out the presents to the kids, them all kind of like swarming around him and loving him, and like the way they're all costumed and dressed and the snow was falling and stuff, it literally looks like if you just like zoomed in on that shot, it would just be like, oh yeah, that's like a shot from a children's coloring book of, you know, Santa with the children. And I love that.
Like Charles Dickens, like,
yeah,
oh, Santa, sir, can we have another penny for our loafers?
I love the contrast of that image in this holiday horror movie. I thought it was so effective, and especially that the one kid's father is drawing the switchblade and trying to kill Santa in the scene. It's just
like, why does that man have a switchblade on Christmas with his family?
Yeah.
There's a killer Santa on the loose, man.
Oh, that's true.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But his
Self-defense.
daughter prefers Santa over him, so that says a lot. I like that they protect.
Yeah, you
him.
know what? That's the first of many times in her life that she's gonna choose some other dude over her asshole father.
Wow.
Just saying, Angelina, she knows where it's at.
And then the movie becomes epic. It turns into almost like a universal monster movie of all the townspeople chasing Frankenstein with the torches. You know, I was just so confused and kind of delighted about where the movie was going as I was at this point, because once again, just like no concept of time in this movie, that I was like, what is happening here? Like, is this movie going to end with Santa getting burned alive? Is he going to like hold up in some tower or something? And it's just, once again, it's another plot point where there is some payoff for it, and we'll get to it. But I was just kind of expecting them to chase him around town, and then that's it. The angry mob is no more, because that's the way this movie is. It kind of just brings people in and brings in plot points, and it doesn't always pay them off, but it's still kind of moves along and is entertaining.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I think we should definitely start a little before that, where like it seems the brother murders him first by strangling him. Before that's like,
the angry mob is chasing him already, and then he runs into his brother's house for the reprieve.
And then
right?
I guess I'm getting ahead of myself.
Come on, there's
here.
2 sequences of the angry mob.
Yes,
Come on.
I know how silly of me. But I mean, this whole thing was like wild. Just the fact that he strangles his brother. Just, you know, traumatizing, more kids just being traumatized, watching something happen to Santa, this time not getting laid, being murdered.
Yeah, he's really imposing his trauma way worse onto all these kids when they wake up Christmas morning and their parents are dead.
Yeah. We're going to obviously move into the last sequence of the movie, but for a second, I was like, is Harry just dead? Did he actually die here? Are we gonna prop him up in the van and it's just like, oh, okay, he just died? You know, I didn't know how this movie was gonna end, and I love that he like wakes up and just punches his brother in the face, and it's like a half-hearted punch. It's just kind of like a smack. It's not a punch. It's not a slap. It's just like his fist hits him kind of haphazardly, and just I was like, yeah, he deserved that one. Phil had it coming.
Oh, yeah.
So my question is, do you think that happened? I wondered if this is already where the fantasy begins, where he's actually dead.
It happened.
Okay, I like the faith.
It's a magical ending to this movie.
It's a magical Christmas.
I was euphoric as this movie was ending. I was like, this is the perfect ending to this fucking grungy Santa movie, driving around in his pedo van with a sleigh on the side of it. I thought it was so excellent of the mob kind of getting in his way and him just careening off a bridge. And the Christmas music comes in and he just flies into the night. That is like a perfect ending for this movie.
It seems kind of abrupt. Just flying.
Yeah, it seems kind of abrupt at the time when it's happening, but I was just like, damn, now that's an ending. That's how you do it. I loved the ending. I thought it was so fun. And he's actually Santa by the end of this.
He is.
Yeah.
He's flying.
I was very confused. The brother chasing after, and he seems to collapse and fall. This is where I'm confused. There's like boxes underneath.
Yeah, it's like he fell through the set.
Yeah,
the snow was actually a blanket.
Yeah, that's a snow blanket. They use it in special effects, and you're not supposed to like really walk on it. It's supposed to if the camera's scanning across it, it's supposed to look like snow. But they didn't know what they were doing.
I did see another fun fact that almost all the snow in this was actually just cut up plastic bags.
I was gonna say it was actually just cancer cells.
It's so good for the environment.
Yeah. In New Jersey. So yeah, that's what's in the air.
Made me sad. I'm a plastic bag fan. Just Sobeys bags. So many uses for them. I just hate the environment, I guess. Yeah. Bring them back.
I love them for the little trash cans.
Yeah.
We still got them here for now.
Till those damn Democrats take over. But yeah, no, I'm totally with Colton on this. I was also euphoric at this ending. I was like, this is so just, this is what I love. And that's where I'm saying, like, it's very similar to the beginning. Like, it's kind of riding that, like, 70s giallo type feel where it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have to make any sense. It's just, it feels right. I'm sure the marijuana and the acid, the LSD, the cocaine everyone was doing, they were all just like, this is right. This is 100% correct.
Hell yeah, brother.
So do you guys have any other notes, or were you comfortable going the rating this? Perfect. Well, let's land the sleigh and get into rating this. So if you're new to the podcast, our rating system is nay, okay, yay, or slay. Colton, you claim the ending made you euphoric.
Oh, it did. Yeah.
What would you rate Christmas Evil?
Obviously, I think most of what I had to say about this movie was incredibly complimentary. I really did enjoy it for the most part. I think the only thing like that is kind of holding me back from giving it a slay is purely just the pacing in the way I watched it. That it's kind of like, I can't accurately judge the first 30 minutes of the movie if it was kind of slow and boring or if I was just really tired. But what I watched this evening, that last hour, that was electric. I was completely on board. I was like, why is he doing this blackface? What is happening here? And from then on out, I was just like, it was scene after good scene. It was just, he's busting a move. He's bringing Christmas magic, delivering toys. He's murdering people with nutcrackers. I really enjoyed the last hour of this movie. And the van careening off into the sky, it was just like chef's kiss. It was like perfection of an ending. So I'm going to give it a very strong yay. It needs to be something that I rewatch before I settle on, if I'd go that far and give it a slay, because you guys know I keep those very close to the chest. Don't give them out very often, but I really enjoyed this. This was
we'll talk about
great
that later.
Watch. Yeah, this was a great watch. I very much enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a very strong yay. Jill, how do you feel about this one?
So you guys know I toss out sleighs. And this
SLEIGH
is spelled exactly Santa's sleigh, SLEIGH, because I had a really good time. I felt alive, just like you, Colton. It was just like fun and magical and Christmassy, and I really didn't expect it to kind of be so endearing and charming, I guess. Something about it, like the way that you're not sure what's real, and it just kind of like ropes you into it the more it goes on. And kind of like we said, like it doesn't need to really make sense because it's just so good. And Harry is the fucking man because he stands up for what's right most of the time. He kills people, but we're just gonna skim over that. So yeah, it's a slay from me. What about you, Mike?
I'm with Colton. Like, I'll give it a strong yay. I thought it was really fucking stupid, but really fucking fun. The music was great. There were some really interesting scenes in it, like some bizarrely good shots. I thought the acting was fun. The writing was kind of like really off the wall. And I really enjoyed that it was like a horror movie and it's so awful to me that Silent Night, Deadly Night got like all of this, kind of like cult audience and like 4 sequels and a remake, when this is a far superior film. And I like that it took the like kind of punitive aspects of Christmas in that like surveillance state, and it's like, I'm going to punish the people who are bad, and really made a like social commentary out of it. And it was very like worker friendly and like socially conscious, and I thought that was like super unexpected. It wasn't just, I'm gonna, murder everybody. It was like, truly, yeah, like, I'm here with my book. I have my giant books and I'm weighing the good and the bad, and I'm making a list, and I am checking it not even twice or thrice. It's like 5 and 6, 7 times a week, I'm sure. And yeah, I just thought it was such a like bizarrely socially conscious slasher movie. So yeah, it's a total like yay. It was so much fun. It's entering my like Christmas pantheon. Ro, bring us home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same as Mike and Colton on this. I'm on like a pretty strong I think I need another watch before I would like take it to a sleigh, because I did have like a couple pacing issues kind of in the beginning, but like I said, I think it's just because what I was expecting going in, like, was totally different than what I got, so it kind of threw me off for a bit. But, like, yeah, you guys are saying it the same. Did we kind of miss out just all giving it sleighs and spelling it Christmassy? Probably. But, I mean, it could very well change into that. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a yay also. So, 3 yays and a sleigh. I think that appropriately will give it a pretty high bar compared to everyone else I saw in Letterboxd. So
really?
I think the average for this is like 3 out of 5. So yeah, I mean, we're pretty, we're bumping it up there a little bit. So we told you what we thought about Christmas Evil, and we asked you what you thought, and we did get some answers on this one. So I'll start off on Slasher. We had Travis of California write in with simply SLEIGH, obviously big fan, and then an appropriately named account on Slasher, just Horror Hound. They also said one word, which was sleigh. So over on Slasher, at least, just sleighs for Christmas Evil. Over on Instagram, Melanie St. George wrote in and simply just said, never seen it, with a yikes face. So maybe if you listen to this, you'll decide that you need to watch it right away. Then we had Horror Hockey Forever write in and say, my favorite of the Christmas horror subgenre. So I would say they probably, really enjoy it. They also wrote in and wanted to add that one of the few movies I'm happy that they never made a sequel for, which I 100% agree. We don't need a poorly done sequel where, they take the magic away from the ending there and try to do, something that we don't want, at least. This is a longer one. Holly P wrote in and wrote like a couple, had to write a couple into us.
Oh my God, I saw her Letterboxd review of it like a week ago.
She said, one man's descent into madness after mild childhood trauma is overshadowed by the chaotic insanity of the drinks pouring at his office Christmas party. Some things you can't unsee. It's a yay from me. So yeah, Holly definitely on board. And then I saved last but not least, my guy, Aaron Roop wrote in on Facebook, and I did enjoy his response, which simply was, someday you guys got to do this. And then he posted a picture of the widescreen DVD cover of Santa's sleigh. So, you know what? It was a very close tie. I think that was like in the running for that or this. So maybe next year Santa's sleigh will come. And then with that, we do have a message on the horrific hotline. Nicholas called in with his thoughts. So let's hear what Nicholas had to say about Christmas Evil.
Okay, so I've never heard of Christmas Evil before, and just hearing the title, it sounded like something between Black Christmas and basically the Black Christmas remake, not the 2019 one, the 2006 one. So somewhere between a stylized slasher and a very schlocky slasher. And it isn't. It is very much a character-driven movie, though I have to admit I did not really enjoy the character. too much. This might be that I went into the movie with completely different expectations, hoping for something along the lines of a actually decent Silent Night, Deadly Night, or a
oh my God, he's gonna be on the opposite
is it Christmas
side.
Bloody Christmas 2 years ago with the robot Santa? I don't care. Not a very good movie, but neither was this, to be honest. Because I found it mostly boring. I might appreciate it more when I rewatch it, if I ever rewatch it. But it just took me by surprise, taking, I don't know, almost an hour until anything really eventful happens. And before that, it's basically the misery of this one guy. I don't know, resulting from some weird childhood trauma by seeing his dad dressed up as Santa Claus touching his mom and his brother telling him he does not believe in Santa Claus. Yeah, not my kind of movie, though I do have to say that while watching it, I felt strangely reminded of the Todd Phillips Joker movie.
Yeah.
In the way we follow this more or less disturbed individual. And I wouldn't be surprised that next to King of Comedy and Taxi Driver, this one was in Todd Phillips' movie rotation while he was working on the ideas for his first Joker movie. All that being said, it's similar to Under the Skin, where I would feel bad giving it a straight up nay, especially since I mostly blame my expectations for me not enjoying the movie. So I am bordering between a nay and an okay for now, and I'll hope that you guys can persuade me either way. Anyways, I wish you all a Merry Christmas if you celebrate. If not, Happy Holidays. Enjoy the time off. Enjoy the snow. Enjoy the presents. Enjoy the Christmas horror movies. And I'll hope to hear from you in the new year.
Damn, Nicholas is just a hater of movies. The main characters are just cruising around in vans, you know?
I can't wait to watch Nicholas's version of The Grinch. Jeez. Merry Christmas to you, Nicholas.
Merry Christmas.
He wrote a lovely note in the email also, just telling me that season 4 and 5 X-Files is where it's just the peak X-Files. So he was telling me to enjoy. He was glad I'm back on the train. Yeah, we're just loving it.
Pen pals, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I had to put here because I totally bypassed it, but another person had wrote us like last week. Jessica Doran wrote us and basically wanted to say, because they figured they were going to miss the poll for the episode, and just said Christmas Evil is an absolute slay, the best Christmas horror movie of all time. Moss Garcia in capital letters.
Oh yeah, that little shit.
Yeah. Love that. So
we didn't talk about his mom slapping the shit out of him.
Oh yeah. Child abuse maybe warranted in that case. I don't know.
He deserved it.
You can be the judge.
So for a little fun before we get into the promo, I sent everybody some questions. It is our last episode of the year, so I was like, let's do like a little fun wrap up. I think we did it one year. We kind of talked about some wrap up stuff, and that's the only time we ever did it. So I had 3 questions I asked everybody, and I also did the stats on everyone this year. How many episodes they made, what percentage of yays, okays, nays they did. See who's a hater, who's not a hater. I thought this would be a real fun time. So what would you guys want? Do you guys want to start with the questions or the stats?
The questions.
Let's do the questions first.
Yeah.
Then I'm leaving.
We all know Jill has given,
1,000 slaves.
15 slaves.
You literally said that
movies.
yourself like
she's done this
10
year.
minutes ago.
So I had 3 questions for everyone, basically just kind of our feelings on episodes we've done. So the first question I wanted everyone to answer was, what was your favorite movie and episode we did this year? Colton, why don't you kick it off?
I have a little bit of recency bias in this, but there's a feeling when I record a good podcast episode that, you know, not to disparage us or anything, but it's not every episode that I leave recording basically being like, that was a banger, you know? So sometimes I don't get my thoughts out there as much as I wanted. Sometimes we're just not funny. Sometimes I'm fucking tired and I'm just not into it, right? Sometimes it's a bad pick, right? But this year,
He's not
I can't lie, it's super recent, but the Frozen episode like a couple weeks ago, we were on one. We were all on our A game.
Yeah.
We were constantly cracking jokes. The fucking wolves and how to fall out of a the chairlift. I left that episode and I don't know if I messaged us, but I felt like, okay, that was a lot of fun. Like that was a good episode. It's not my favorite movie that I've watched this year, like to talk about on the show, but I just thought that episode was a great episode for somebody to kind of tune into our podcast, hear, you know, our banter, you know, kind of us playing off each other, and then also discuss a movie that's not great. You know, that I thought that was probably my favorite episode. And I mean, maybe it's just I'm tired. Maybe if I go back and listen to some of the ones earlier in the year, maybe they were great also, but I just felt like we were on another level for that Frozen episode.
Honestly, I kind of have two. I was also going to say Frozen was really fun to record, and I listened to that episode and I was like cackling at it because sometimes I forget some of the things we say when we're recording, and just hearing it, I don't know, it made my day, honestly. Like, put a smile on my face. I listened to it when I was like driving. But the other one was at the beginning of the year, I think, when we did Frankenhooker with Willow. Because Willow was there. I love that movie. It was fun. We got to mess around with Colton, and I felt like we had a great discussion.
Maybe we'll hear about Frankenhooker more when we get to the next question that we have to answer.
What about you, Mike? Favorite movie and or episode?
Honestly, probably this is actually hard because, like Colton said, there was a couple of like ones that I thought were like really fun and we had a really good time recording. Because again, it's like we're all human beings and we're kind of like trying to squeeze this in. And we all have like jobs and stuff, and you know, like our schedules are all like completely opposite. So you know, it's hard. Sometimes you're just like not on or mentally there, or high.
Tell them what time it is for you right now.
It is 12:54 a.m. and I have an alarm in like 5 hours.
Yeah.
For example, I'm like literally here, like wired, you know, Clockwork Orange, trying to keep my eyes open. But one of my favorite, I had a lot of favorites, but I think if I had to pluck one in particular, I would say probably Perfect Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, it's a great movie and I just love like watching it and talking about it. But I just thought it was also just a banger episode. And we had Willow on and we were all just having like a good time. And it was like lots of fun discussion. And, you know, I thought it was like a nice, well-rounded episode. You know, one of the ones that I actually listened to back and enjoyed and wasn't like cringing listening to the sound of my own voice. What about you, Ro?
Yeah, so I was kind of like Jill. I cheated. I had two. I was thinking back, looking at all the episodes and stuff. So one of them was Alligator. I thought Alligator was a great time.
Man, Ramon.
I think Mike wasn't on that episode.
Yeah, I was like, of course you would pick one. I wasn't here. Fuck you.
You didn't want to be here for that one. Remember?
Yeah, boy, and I just remember like kind of the groaning and hate of the pick, and then it was a banger. Like I didn't expect it to be so good.
I actually did want to watch it though, which is the unfortunate part. It just didn't work.
Well, you still got to watch it. And then my other answer was Gothica. I thought that episode was so good. And I mean, that was really the inspiration for the Frozen pick. Was I was just like, we always have fun with those 2000s movies, just because they're always so funny and usually really bad. So yeah, that was my answer for that one. So the next question I had asked was, what was your least favorite movie or episode that you had to talk about, or mostly movie that you had to talk about that you did not enjoy? I'd like to open the floor up to Mike first on this one.
Okay, so this is actually a funny question because, listen, my brain is fried and I'm tired. So I was scrolling through the episodes of this year.
Yeah.
You know, because I was like, if it's more than like a month ago, I forgot about it already. But, you know, I was scrolling through some of them and looking at, you know, the films and stuff and trying to figure out like which ones, you know, I really enjoyed and stuff. And even the movies that I wasn't super fond of, like, you know, Jurassic Park or whatever. Like I still like it. I didn't look at it and go, oh, that was awful. Like this year, you know, we had some bangers, and like even when I wasn't like super into the movie, I just had fun with our discussions. So it was actually really tough to find one that I was like, I didn't like it. Like last year, there was probably 4 or 5 that I was like, fuck, I would never want to do that again. The only one I can think of this year is, and you're not going to be surprised by this at all, because there was no redeeming quality to the movie, and I did not enjoy discussing it, was Leprechaun in the Hood. Of course.
It was mine too.
Can't believe that.
I think that was my lowest Letterboxd review ever, but especially this year.
Listen,
what are your guys' thoughts? Like,
awful. Yeah. It was so bad.
I'm looking at, you know, the movies I have tagged with It's SLEIGH's podcast on Letterboxd, and for me, I have the double feature, the episodes back to back of Frankenhooker and Leprechaun in the Hood, and I gave them both 1.5. So I didn't enjoy either of them.
Dude.
But I do have to say, my least favorite episode by far was Frankenhooker for me.
You gave the same rating to Leprechaun in the Hood.
Yeah,
that is sacrilegious.
It's mental illness love.
Yeah. But it's the sort of thing where sometimes on the podcast, I'm like, I feel like I'm the sole person arguing a point. And on that episode in particular, I am put in the unwinnable position of arguing against 2 women why I don't think this movie is like a feminist text, which is a fucking no-win scenario. And if you go back and listen to me on that episode, it's like frustrating that I feel like I'm put in that situation, but I can't articulate well enough. Or even if I can articulate it, it's like, well, you're still a dude arguing against 2 women. Yeah. So it's that's a tough episode.
I was hoping I was hoping you're gonna come in hot and say you're the only voice of reason.
Well, that is what I think on it, but you know, it's
it was a good discussion though. Like I enjoyed it. Even like it's good to have differing opinions, or like, you know,
even if they're wrong.
Yeah, even if they're wrong, it's nice to hear what everyone has to say.
Mine was actually a Now Slain, so 2 of you guys weren't present for it, but it was at the beginning of the year, and mine was when me and Colton had to talk about Wolfman.
So tough, dude.
It was really tough. And kind of just because I was like a little hyped for it being Lee Whannell, and I was like, okay, let's maybe Blumhouse is going to turn it around for me, and as always, Blumhouse didn't turn it around for me. And that was just a rough one. And I just remember being angry. I'm pretty sure I like angry texted Colton out of the theater on that one. Like, yeah, so they're just not a fun time. And so the last question I had asked, I left it a little vague on purpose, where I said, what was the most surprising movie and or episode? So this can be surprising, good or bad. That's why I left it kind of, you know, open there. And this one all started. So my answer for this was actually our first episode of the year was Lake Mungo, because of how much I enjoyed it. That was one I gave a SLEIGH to. I didn't really know anything about it. Like I'd like kind of heard about it, and I just like really, really enjoyed it. I even literally like a week ago, I find myself thinking about that movie all the time, and it was just like really surprising because I'm very vocal that I'm not a found footage guy. Like it just clicked for me, and it was a movie I was very surprised by. What about you, Jill?
Yeah, the most surprising one for me was actually Alligator, in a good way, because, well, Mike ditched me, and usually I dread Jawgust every year because I'm like, I have to...
Every year, there was one.
There was two.
Unofficial Joggist this year.
There was. You guys did creature features, okay? It was basically the same shit, different pile. Okay, so do not patronize me about that. So I was stuck with all these men, all this testosterone, but it ended up being a fucking banger, actually, and I had a really good time watching it and talking about it. So yeah, that was the biggest surprise for me. What about you, Colton?
Yeah, I guess I could take this a couple of different ways. I will say the episode that I thought would be a banger, but in hindsight, I don't know if it actually was Bong Joon-ho's The Host, much earlier in the year. When I think back to that episode, I remember it like us not really having as good of a discussion as we could have. And even the artwork for that episode is like pretty underwhelming because it's hard to find good posters or images of The Host. So it's the sort of thing where I really enjoy The Host as a movie, but it maybe just wasn't like a great one for us to discuss on the show. In terms of something that surprised me and I enjoyed it way more than I was expecting, I have to go with Interview with the Vampire, or whatever the title is. And the reason why is because it is so campy and so like homoerotic and so like just
not you
operatic and not really usually what I go for, theatrical. And I really did enjoy it. I have to say, I thought it was a good movie, right? Like, I remember I kept describing how it feels like the way, like, movies just aren't made anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like, when I was watching it, that I really enjoyed it. I thought that was a good movie that I just truly enjoyed this year.
Well, it was leaked that it's getting a 4K early next year, so
nice.
Yes,
you'll have to buy that.
Super excited. What about you, Mike?
Okay, so my answer is like gonna be maybe a bit weird from everyone else's. I was looking at, because I kind of interpreted it in the way that everyone else has, as like what movie like surprised you. I'm not gonna lie, there wasn't like a lot of surprises for me. Like I kind of ended up feeling for most of these like I thought I would. Now, the ones that I think I would have been surprised by are just pure coincidence. The ones that like I couldn't make it because I was busy that night, like Alligator, I do want to watch because I think that I would have liked it, even though I was hesitant about it at first. Yeah. But the episode itself that surprised me the most, and Bro is probably not going to be surprised by this, was one of the only now SLEIGHs that I did where we did the double feature. That was him and oh my god, what was it called? What was the other
Vicious? It was two different episodes, yes. But you did a part to each one.
But we recorded them
together,
like back to back.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a double feature, and I mean, I thought like him was like okay, but I absolutely hated Vicious, and I was like, and I was in a rush that night, and I was like, Ro, like we got to bang this out like as quick as possible. I'm like literally logging out at like 9 o'clock. If you're in the middle of a sentence, but I hated it so much that like
you just kept
kept going on about it. And I was just so surprised. And Ro even said to me, he's like, you said you were logging off at 9 and it's like 9:40 and you're still talking.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever surprised seen you by like a movie that much.
Yeah, I was just very surprised by my like anger making me talk more about something instead of just sort of passively like whatevering it. And yeah, so that episode was a bit shocking to me because I thought that it was going to be Ro carrying and me just kind of saying, I really don't like this movie, let's move on. And I was just like yapping the whole time about how much I hated it. So yeah, my hatred surprised me.
That's awesome. So what I have left of the wrap up is I did do some stats up. Now, I will say this doesn't include this episode or any now SLEIGHs that'll come out before the end of the year. But before we started recording this episode, so a little fun fact, we did 51 episodes. It'll, be 52 including this year. We talked about a total of 56 movies before this one. So just to let everyone know, if you were curious, I was very surprised by Colton and Jill. You guys actually clocked in on the same amount of episodes. You both were present for 36 episodes, which is weird.
That's now slaying bias, though, for sure.
Yeah.
If you go main episodes, Jill's here way more often than I am.
100% with the now slayings. And then Mike clocked in at 26 because Mike has only ever been on 2 now slayings.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And then obviously because I'm always fucking stuck here.
I only ever see the now slaying movies like months after everyone else.
I almost got the perfect one. I hit 55 of the 56 because I didn't
You missed weapons, right?
No, together.
Okay.
Yeah, together you and Jill did, and I missed that one. I haven't seen it yet. I still got to watch it. But yeah, so a couple fun facts out of these. Obviously, I broke down like how many sleighs, how many of each, the percentage. I'm not going to go through like all of that. That's just me like spitting numbers. But I thought people would like to know their percentages at the very least. So let's start with Jill, because Jill's always the funniest.
What the fuck?
So, Jill, this year, you clocked in at 8.3% nays for all of the episodes. And you clocked in at 27.7% okays, 41.6% of yays, and then 22.2% of slays, which I feel is like low for you.
Yeah. I wonder why. Maybe I'm trying to like compensate. I don't know, but I feel like I do give out a lot of slays when I feel it.
Yeah, you know you get
Feel
the
it.
groove, you get the groove, and you feel it. And then let's juxtapose you with Colton.
Yes.
Oh no.
So Colton gave 13.8% nays. He actually didn't have the highest percentage of nays out of the episodes. I actually took that.
Wow.
Apparently I'm the hater this year.
Plot twist.
I know.
I love this.
He had 44.4% okays. He had 36.1% yays, and this is my favorite, 5.5% slays.
There we go.
Colton gave 2 slays this year.
What were they?
Do you know?
So one was Nope.
Oh, of course.
That makes sense, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The other one, The Lost World Jurassic Park.
Oh.
Gotta be.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wait, I didn't give weapons a slay? That's kind of crazy. All right.
You gave weapons a yay. We both gave weapons a yay.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, I laughed so hard when I was like 2 slays. That is super on brand.
Listen, that is on brand. I'm one of those people that I hold like my 4.5 and 5 stars. You know, I don't give them out very often. I usually have like 5 or 6 4.5s a year, and then maybe 1 or 2 5 stars. So that doesn't shock me.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't shock me either. So, Mike logged in 7.6% nays. Mike only gave 2 nays this year.
Oh my god!
One is definitely for vicious. I should have looked. I can't even think what the other one was for, but I'm sure it was something.
Leprechaun.
Oh, was it Leprechaun?
I just said yes.
Yeah, it was.
I hated it.
It was definitely Leprechaun. He gives 26.9% okays, 30.8% yays, and 34.6% slays. So Mike took the crown for slays.
Actually?
To no one's surprise.
Wait, what was the percentage of slays? I missed that.
34.6.
Oh, that's great. Over a third of everything we reviewed.
Out of 26 episodes, Mike gave 9 slays out of the 26. Wow. And then mine,
because I love movies.
Yeah, there you go.
True.
I gave, out of the 55, I gave 11 nays. That's why I topped
Oh my god, bro.
So I had 20% nays. I had 27.3% okays, 36.3% yays, and 16.3% slays. Gave a lot of yays, 20 yays this year. Must have just been feeling...
You're well-rounded, though.
Yeah.
You're a well-rounded person.
Yeah, I try to be. So yeah, that's a little bit of your It Slays podcast wrap-up. I'm not going to send it to your email so you can post it on your story or anything. So...
Rude.
Have to cut that whole clip out and posted, I guess, if you're a listener. Anyway, I interrupted Colton. Let the people know how they can call into the horrific hotline, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's been ages ago, or it's been ages now since we've listened to Nicholas's voicemail. But if you want to leave a voicemail like Nicholas, you can do so by sending it to us at itslayspodcast@gmail.com or sending us an MP3 or whatever on any of our socials at itslayspodcast. And if you're not following us already, you can do so on Instagram, Facebook, Slasher, Letterboxd, Threads, Bluesky, TikTok. If there's a social media, we're probably there at itslayspodcast. And if you want to help support the show financially, like our horror hounds Holly, Nicholas, Mark, Steven, Dan, Brian, Trevor, and James, gain access to the Patreon-exclusive show Stream Screams, hosted by Jill, and get episodes of the main show 48 hours early. Be sure to head on over to patreon.com/itslayspodcast and choose whatever tier works best for you. We're going to have to look into Stream Screams and see when that's actually coming back.
Off for 2 weeks starting next week, so I think me and Rowan and Trevor, I guess, will get in the studio and get working.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a Trevor special guest. We have been plotting
Wow.
the new year. I think there's gonna be a lot of Stream Screams, and then people will get sick of us.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan. Well, Rowan, we were talking about lots of music, or at least one track for the dance in Christmas Evil. It feels like an hour ago we were talking about Christmas Evil. Is it going to make the playlist?
Hopefully, yeah. If I can find it, we'll make sure it makes the playlist. Mike said it didn't look like there was much going on there in terms of a score or anything. I'll look on Spotify, all that stuff. We'll get something up there. And you can find out by going to the It's Slay's Podcast Horrific playlist on Spotify. If you have any problems finding it, you can go to any of the social media Colton just mentioned, go into the bio, click the Linktree link. It'll take you directly there. We upload scores or licensed music to iconic horror movies we review, or just horror movies we love. So follow it. We update it regularly. Get your spooky music on, because why the hell not? So all that is left, I promise, is the pick for the new year, which is Mike. Mike is kicking us off in the new year. That's how Colton likes to start a new year. I can see his face.
Yeah, we're off on a great foot.
So, Mike, what should the people be watching?
Okay, so for the new year, we're going to start off with a director that we have actually covered before, but it was when it was just me and Ro, and that director is Catherine Bigelow, and the film is from 1987, and it is Near Dark.
All right.
Near Dark. All right.
And just an FYI, if anybody needs to find it, it is available on archive.org.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, you know what? I don't know if I have any complaints about starting my new year with Bill Paxton and vampires, so I'm all right with that. Yeah. So, yeah, get your eye holes on Near Dark, and we will be back in 2 weeks with the main episode. Like I said, I feel like in the next 2-3 weeks, you guys are going to get a lot of content from now, Slain. You'll get some mega episodes going on, so be on the lookout for that. As always, thank you for all the support all year. I haven't crunched the numbers yet. I usually send these guys texts of what the final year-end numbers are, but they've been great so far this year, and thank you so much for all the continued support. As always, I am your holly holiday host, Rowan.
Thanks for everything. It's Mike.
Thanks for listening. It's Colton.
Merry Christmas. It's Jill.
See you later.